Beautiful mornings, beautiful nights, amazing colors of the twilight. Memories whisper, memories sigh. You and I together before you say goodbye. Welcome to my country, here you can't go wrong. Stay with me forever, stay long as you want. So welcome to my country, winter, spring or fall. Don't you hear me crying? Don't you hear my call? Imaginations, illusory fate. I came with flowers, I know it's not too late. Yeah, like a blazing fire, you made me see that the spirits are calling, and I got down on my knees. Welcome to my country, here you can't go wrong. Stay with me forever, stay long as you want. So welcome to my country, winter, spring or fall. Don't you hear me crying? Don't you hear my call? Beautiful mornings, beautiful nights, amazing colors of the twilight. Time goes on forever as I live through the past. So where are you now? I cried out at last. Welcome to my country, here you can't go wrong. Stay with me forever, stay long as you want. So welcome to my country, winter, spring or fall. Don't you hear me crying? Don't you hear my calls? So welcome to my country, winter, spring or fall. Don't you hear me crying? Don't you hear my call? So welcome to my country, winter, spring or fall. Don't you hear me crying? Don't you hear my call?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dipinder Bava. I am the Director of Study in Latvia Center, India. I would like to welcome you on behalf of Study in Latvia Center. Thank you for coming. Today, we are here for the inauguration ceremony of Study in Latvia Center. And in next 1 hour, you will see why Latvia has been considered as the most dynamic country in the Europe. With us, we have a delegation from Latvia. I would like to introduce to our delegation. First and foremost, I have Professor Ribiskus from Riga Technical University. We have Dr. Tipans from the International Office from Riga Technical University. Then we have Mr. Imans, the Vice Rector from Turiba University. And we have Ms. Zane Pallura from Riga Technical University. I request Professor Biscus to please come on stage and share his thoughts with us.
It's a big pleasure for me to be here. during this opening ceremony of a special center study in Latvia, where several universities of Latvia are coming together and organizing such a, I think, very interesting center. And of course, this is for future development of our universities, for cooperation between countries, between students, academic staff, researchers, and between people in general. Well, I am not going to talk very much about business possibilities in Latvia as I did yesterday, but anyway, some general impression what and how we are looking and what we are doing, I would like to give you. Well, we are European Union country now more than 10 years, and we got our independence from Tsarist Russia almost 100 years ago, and our capital is Riga, and here you can see our location at Baltic Sea, almost in the middle of Europe. From right side is Russia, and all left side you can see different countries, including, of course, UK, Germany, France, and Italy, and others. Well, Latvia is an area, big area, but population is not so big, of course. A little bit more than 2 million people, but we are very green. All is covered by wood. We have no high hills, but many lakes and rivers, and hydropower, and electricity generation from rivers is the main source of energy in Latvia. Well, I would like to explain just...
More than 400 kilometers are without stones. Just you have here your beach, actually maybe not so wide, but also sandy and very nice. I told flat area with lakes and a lot of wood, but very special is this picture where you can see singing stadium. It's specially built for song and dance festivals that are held in Latvia every 4th year, more than 100 years. This is tradition also in World Heritage counted and accepted. And on this stage, on the front of people together are singing more than 20,000 singers at the same time from countryside. It means that we like choir music very much and dance, folk dance. We have also snow, you know. Now in Latvia we have -15, but not so much snow at this year. Sometimes snow is much deeper, 1 meter or more, but in general it takes some 2 months, 2.5, and then snow is gone. And here are, of course, Riga has nice downtown, one of the most famous buildings, Blackhead House, and Art Nouveau buildings. The collection of Art Nouveau buildings are in UNESCO, again protection, under UNESCO protection, the biggest collection in the world. Well,
this maybe is from cultural point of view. And now very fast I'm going what type of economy we have. We have production of agriculture, food products, wood, different wood products, metal articles, machinery products, chemical industry, minerals, and other goods, smaller in different areas. Foreign trade, major partners, of course, are our neighbors: Lithuania, Estonia, then Russia, Germany, Sweden, Poland, Finland, Netherlands, and others. If we are talking about service export, then mostly this is transit. We have transit corridors from Baltic Sea, from ports to Russian Federation, to other countries like Ukraine and Kazakhstan, and also China. Well, if we are telling that how Latvia is active in economy, then it's one of the fastest growing economies in the European Union. It was in 2011, and also it is now the same. From this January we joined EU zone. We have euro currency in Latvia. Our former own currency, Lats, are gone. And we are Schengen member. It means that if you have visa to Latvia, you can also travel all over Europe, except UK, I think, then special regulations. And, well, business sectors where are active nowadays are woodworking, and key advantages are easy access to raw materials. We have a lot of them. Abundance of skilled labor, and high rate of private investment in R&D. Then also metalworking and mechanical engineering. Metalworking because Russia is very close, and those deliveries of different metals and mechanical engineering and preparation of constructions is going on in Latvia and Riga especially. Transport and storage. Transport corridors are with railway from ports to Russia and further on. Then, of course, we have 3 ports at Baltic Sea. They are very active. Also, we have pipelines for gas and oil, and for chemicals, basically it's using railway transport. I told those ports are in our cities, Riga, Liepāja, Ventspils, and I don't know those millions of tons something means to you, but anyway, you can see some volumes, what they are, how they are working, and this is some indications that we are very active in this business. Other transit sector is through air. We have Riga Airport, international airport, and from Riga, airplanes are flying to more than 80 destinations to different countries. And also Riga is developing very fast. The Riga Airport some years ago was the fastest developed airport in Europe also. Well, railway, I told about that, maybe not very much to add, but anyway, Latvia Railways, this like transit is taking 82% of total freight volume, what is going through Latvia, to Russia and back to Europe or USA. Roads, we have not bad roads, connecting from north, from Estonia, from Tallinn down to Lithuania, Kaunas, Vilnius, and Warsaw in Poland, and Berlin in Germany, And on the right side, only 900 kilometers is Moscow. Well, very important is gas storage. We can store gas underground in Latvia in a very big volume, more than 4 billion cubic meters. Actually, this is enough for 2 years' consumption of all our republic. And this is natural gas coming from Russia, but we are supplying with this stored gas also our neighbor countries. And electrical power, what we are generating in Latvia, basically we almost all our needs can fulfill, but 95% of electricity what we are using is generated in Latvia, but around 70% of that is made from renewable and environmentally friendly energy resources like water, wind, and biomass. Well, here are some structure of energy consumption. Then, if we are talking about business environment for those students who are graduating and for alumni, they can do business in Latvia or Europe, start in Latvia, and World Bank research doing business 2014 ranks Latvia as 24th out of 189 countries for easy of doing business. We have also free ports and special economic zones. Well, about education system in Latvia, what is most important for this gathering, I can tell you, of course, we have preschool education, then 9-year basic education and upper secondary education. Now, government is willing to decide that upper secondary education will be obligatory for all kids in Latvia, and I think we will go further on, and also higher education soon will come like necessary education for in 10-15 years to be competitive in the world. On higher education we have 3 levels: bachelor, master and doctoral level. Riga Technical University has 4-year doctoral studies, but other universities in Latvia is doing that in 3 years. Totally we have 6 public universities and many other higher educational institutions, including private ones too. Also, Latvia has second largest enrollment rate per 10,000 population. It's 552, and at this moment total number of students is close to 100,000, and totally study programs offered by Latvia universities and higher educational institutions are more than 900. Research in Latvia, former times, of course, when 24 years ago Latvia was part of USSR, and we had a lot of research institutions and institutes in Riga city, and there were more than 15,000 researchers with PhD degree. Nowadays this number decreased, but around 5,000 researchers with PhD level we have, and the priority areas are energy research, information technology, material science, biomedicine, pharmacy, forest science, and environmental science, and also others. We have very, very good equipped and special labs for water research. I think it's important also in this area we can cooperate. And at the end, some facts what maybe you know or maybe not, that Latvia has one of the fastest telecommunication infrastructure in the world, and some data are giving on the screen. Latvia is a country that gave James Bond his camera Minox for spying, of course, his mini camera. And the inventor was born in Riga, Walter Zapp. Several episodes of your Indian Bollywood spy film Agent Vinod were shot in Riga. And also Latvian language is one of the closest to modern language to Sanskrit. And there are some words what is very similar, like husband, vīra, or vīrs in Latvia, pēda, it's foot, and some others. Well, thank you very much for listening me, and now short movie about Riga Technical University, very short, 7 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rector, for the detailed presentation on Latvia. And now we're going to show you a short movie which will provide some more information.
James. Hey, Dave. How are you? Good. Great. Haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah, I've been all over the place.
Yeah, Asia?
No, too far. Latvia.
Latvia, really? What about Latvia?
Latvia? It's a great place. You should check it out.
Yeah? Living the good life there?
That too, as well as running my own microchip factory, using Latvian ports to ship my products to Scandinavia, trading with Russia and, Asia too.
Wow. Wow. You wouldn't mind telling me a little bit more about that?
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before I begin,
Do you want to get the coffee?
just like to extend a few greetings.
You see, the one thing that strikes me about Latvia is that it's not only the largest trade hub of the Baltics, but it's basically a geographical hotspot.
Yeah? What do you mean by that?
Well, look, you've got Scandinavia on one side, Russia on another, Poland, Germany on another, and Latvia right in the middle of the action. So whenever I'm aiming overseas, I've got 3 international ice-free ports to choose from, and if I need Russia, I've got a direct rail link that goes straight from Latvia to Moscow. But the best thing is, it's just a 2-hour flight away from all the Western capitals.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So what'd you do, move your whole company there?
Didn't need to.
Well, who's running it then?
They are.
Locals.
Of course. Initially, I was a bit skeptical too. Then I realized they've got one of the highest university enrollment rates in the world, and almost everyone I meet speaks 3 languages: Latvian, Russian, and English. So, when I was hiring, I got Heaps of applications, more than I could have asked for.
Heaps of applications don't mean they have any skills.
That may be true, but you certainly need to know a thing or two about skills if you're the largest pharmaceuticals manufacturer in the Baltics, or design systems for Kenwood, Panasonic, develop technologies for NASA, or make microphones for Lady Gaga.
Sounds good.
I think that sounds good. The corporate tax rate is 15%, one of the lowest in Europe, and it takes 1 day to launch a company.
James, 1 day?
1 day? Right, but what's the catch? And don't tell me there isn't one.
Do you enjoy nature?
Sure, why not?
Then you'll have to deal with this. Take it in. Doesn't get fresher than that. After all, it's one of the greenest countries in the world. You enjoy music, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Then you've got to go to the Opera House. It's phenomenal. And you're bound to bump into some of today's top performers, like I did last week, as it happens. And restaurants, well, don't get me started. There's everything from local organic cuisine to my beloved English pub. And Riga, the capital city, well, just take a look around you. It's a work of art.
Hey, tell me again, when did you come here?
I tell you what, 3 years ago, and I have never looked back since.
To provide some more information on Latvian education.
Dear professors, distinguished representatives of education system of India. It's my pleasure today to speak about education system in Latvia. If we talk about history, we as a country are young. We were founded in 1918. And of course, our university system is young as well. Our first higher education institution was founded in 1862. But essential is that it was not a classic university, it was technical university. It was famous Riga Polytechnics, which was famous in that time, not just in Northern Europe, but also in areas from faraway countries. We had our very famous graduates. We had our Nobel Prize winners in chemistry. And I need to say that it was very much happening due to international spirit, which was existing in our education system from the very beginning. After, definitely, especially in 50s and 60s, when Latvian industry was booming and Latvian research institutions were opened, it was an idea that our higher education system should satisfy all the needs of Latvian economy, being it industry or tourism sector or finance. All those fields we are quite strong in. Another phase of Latvian higher education system development started after 2004, when Latvia joined European Union, which meant for us that we fully join Bologna system, interchange of educational credit points, courses, programs, very close cooperation between universities. In fact, to satisfy not just Latvian or Baltic, but to satisfy European labor market. So it's our tradition that our universities are very much research, innovations, and industry-oriented. After joining EU, most of Latvian universities, especially the public ones, got excellent research equipment based on structural funds provided by EU to be an equal partner in European research system. Of course, we are still following the very best academic traditions of Europe, which means mobility. It's very typical, especially for northern part of Europe. Students move not just between programs, bachelor in one place, master in another. No, they move even after one semester going to another university. I would say, to some extent, repeating the old system existing in medieval times in Italian universities, when students could come from Bologna to Padua, back and forth, and really it was quite clear for European minds that's the only way how you can generate something new, something really distinguished. Diversity. Yes, our education programs are diverse. We are quite adaptive to changing needs of our economics. We are a small country with open economy, which means that either you adapt or you'll face immediate problems. As I said, Latvian universities are part of European education space. Many of our programs, additionally to Latvian accreditation, they've got special labels of European excellence, for example, in IT sector, some in business. It should be understood that since we belong not just to European education space, but we belong also to Schengen, and no any kind of visas and no special requirements to enter any European EU university in all EU countries, it's quite clear that either we are competitive or we lose students. And definitely we have not lost our students. And I would say it's very much to the clear understanding of our professors and school teachers in Latvian high schools that you really need to be up to other old European countries. For somebody it may not look fair because they have been within EU for a much longer time. But I need to say that traditionally Latvian education system, if I talk about high school education, it has been very much based on old French traditions, after Russian traditions, that you really need to teach very deeply basic subjects. I talk about mathematics, chemistry, physics, language teaching, have this logics about how to acquire grammar of any language, which gives very good results, in fact, because I would say that's the only way, as I understand, really to create very adaptive, being engineer or manager. We are quite successful, if we speak about competition, to participate in large projects in science and education. It should be clear that modern science can't be done in one place. That's why European mobility programs are all about. But Latvian scientists have been quite able to participate in large EU-funded science projects, when we talk about millions of euros of funding, quite often being a leading research team, especially if we talk about chemistry, biomaterials, or material science in general, if we talk about structural mechanics, calculations in civil engineering, new materials in civil engineering, biomedicine, etc. I need to say here, and that's a special, maybe it might be of special interest for you, dear audience, that I would like to say that there are definitely new opportunities opening for Asian universities in their cooperation with EU universities. A new program has started. We just a few weeks ago celebrated the start of Erasmus Plus program, which in fact means that based on a previous Erasmus program, which was a direct exchange between partner universities within Europe, when students, let's say, from France, Spain, Turkey, etc., which also is able to participate in that program, we're spending semester or one academic year in some other universities, including, for example, Riga Technical University or Business School Turiba. Now Erasmus Plus program means that you are opening EU universities to the whole world. In fact, the very start was with Erasmus Mundus program, which was a clear plan to link together EU universities with, for example, universities in Asia. But now, obviously, we are quite open to all possible partnerships where we see really overlap in fields of science or similar programs to start to work with in this new program. I need to say that even in Erasmus Mundus, we have a partner in India, which is VIT University in Vellore. I think they are having campus in Chennai as well. I had a chance to visit that excellent campus and talk to administration of that school. It is clear that we can exchange students and we can exchange staff, even more that EU is very willing to pay quite generous scholarships, really to provide, I would say, the first initial phase of cooperation between further engineers or doctors, researchers, and administration of universities as well. Our education systems obviously are different, but that's exactly what we would like to know, how to get cooperation between universities which, if we talk about engineering, work in a similar field. What do we offer? We offer a variety of programs. I need to say more than 100 programs running fully in English. It's engineering, business, tourism, management, banking, agriculture, various fields. I need to say that if you check the long list of programs which are offered in English, you definitely will notice that there are like two groups of programs. One is traditional programs, which might be like mechanical engineering, electric, or medicine, dentistry, etc. But the rest is quite specific programs which are really adapted to some really specific needs of industry. Maybe it's not, again, so traditional, but still I would say it's logistics supply chain management, which is devoted for different cargo operations and railways and air transportation, maritime transportation, etc., plus business as well, business informatics, medical physics, etc. So basically, in fact, it satisfies, obviously, needs not just of Latvian economics, but I would say it works really for global economics now. Even more, if you check alumni list of Latvian universities, definitely you will see that it's really a global expansion. Large part of students are working in the US, UK, even Australia, which is not so close country to us. And obviously, our closest neighbors are Northern Europe, Germany, Poland, Russia as well. But I would say large part of students obviously stay in Latvia as well. If we talk about finances, it's our tradition, again, maybe following the tradition of Northern Europe, we keep our tuition fees low. Because the basic idea, philosophy behind that is that education should be accessible to all, and it should be good quality education. We have this question, why do we need international students? Maybe from the very beginning. But now, I would say, in this very competitive world, it's really getting quite obvious for us that if you want really to get significant achievements in science, if you really want to succeed with your excellent education programs, you need to create international spirit at university. There is no other way. You really need to have guest professors. You really need to have students having very different educational backgrounds, sitting in the same group, coming from Europe or from Singapore or from Central Asia or from India. And that's the only way how you can understand as a professor. That's the only way how students really can get these first groups of initial, maybe, partnership for life. We need to be competitive because Erasmus exchange programs and now even more Erasmus Plus programs allow us really to trace what is the result. Are students happy when they return back to their home universities? We are quite sensitive to that. We talk to students, for example, from France or from excellent schools in Germany, TU Munich, for example, or TU Dresden, which are quite close partners of us. What do you think? What do you think about subjects? And believe me, they are quite open and quite precise, which definitely allows us to improve our programs much better. Another thing, of course, is that it is quite typical that if you start to talk about Latvia in any sense, first you need to go to the map. One of your first or maybe second slide should be just location of Latvia. I hope it will not exist so long because the country might be small, but in fact everybody in the world knows where Singapore is. So it really depends from openness of your economy, it depends from openness of your education system. And I would say it's one of our main goals, strategic goals. We really need to open our education system to the world. Of course, the opposite question might be, which might be maybe even of more interest for you, why to study in Latvia? There are certain things I need to mention. In fact, there are many things. I hope you can read it. European degree. Our degrees are by law recognized everywhere within EU because we belong to Bologna process. Not just degrees, but you can talk about transferability of specific courses. We have more than 20 years of experience in providing programs in English, because we started quite early in '91. We have more than 100 programs which are taught fully in English. We've used to have international programs, international professors, and we have special mechanisms, for example, at the RTU, when a program which is accredited locally should be taught in English. We have these attractive tuition fees, it's quite concrete now. We have, and I would say, again, it's very essential for European exchange projects. Typically is that scholarship what students or doctoral students are getting is the same for different EU countries. Now, the biggest difference which is remaining for a student, and students always are concerned, what do I have? Might be quite significant because living costs are quite low in Latvia. We belong to Eurozone since January this year, but living costs are not growing. Our inflation rate is very low, close to zero, in fact. And I would say that's one of the biggest, maybe, factors beyond our quality of education that we are having, I would say, exponentially growing number of students from different Asian countries, especially. We guarantee on-campus accommodation. I think it's quite good immigration law what we have, which is if university invites a student, being full-time or exchange student, we need to say a place of living, which in fact means that we need to provide the first place of living. After, students obviously can decide what some of our Indian students are doing. Okay, initially first 2-3 months might be on campus, but then they find a better way, or maybe a less expensive way, maybe to rent an apartment in Riga, have much more privacy, location, whatever. So students are obviously free to choose. We have exchange programs open for international students. Some of our best, for example, Indian students already have participated in these old Erasmus exchange program, one EU university to another EU university, because they're open for any students, being local or international. Most of Latvian universities, like Technical University or University Turiba presented here, we tend to work as one-stop for students, which means you have one office where you can get all questions cleared. Your parents can call to the same office, your former school can call, and in fact, all the issues are done in the same office, starting from the first email and ending with a transcript. As we said, we have pretty large and very fast-growing international student community, not just in big public schools, but I would say even schools in provincial towns are having their first international students, and then you see after 2 years it's already a significant number, but definitely there is more work for universities which are not so used to that. Essential also is, and this question is obvious, we have safe environment. Students are going to faraway country. If it's Latvia, we usually warn students, especially in October, November, about clothes you need to take, because especially people in Tamil Nadu, I don't think they have big experience how to have a winter dress, etc. But I would say it's not the biggest problem. And as we talk about general safety, I need to say Latvia is a very safe country. Again, I need to make this comparison with Singapore. Small means that you can control safety quite clearly. And we never had any accidents with students which are really serious ones. We are having rapid growing Indian student community. We had one wave of Indian students 10 years back, mostly coming from Chennai and Hyderabad area, and which means we have some short history of alumni, which is quite good, in fact. Large part of them now have got quite good engineering jobs in the US, UK, and back in India. Students are coming. Students are coming now, for example, Riga Technical University has about 150 Indian students, getting quite active influx of applications of students. We have this study center in Latvia, and you will know much more about regulations for bachelor and master students, but definitely interest is quite high. And I would say it's not just due to studies, because normally you can get your mechanical engineering in many places, obviously in India and many places in the world. I need to say you, and I really need to cite APJ Abdul Kalam, that spirituality must be integrated with education. Self-realization is a focus. Each one of us must become aware of our higher self. And I'm quite convinced that our Indian students are really doing that in Riga. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Tepans. And now, before we are moving to the last and our third presentation, we would like to show two videos about the two universities which are represented here. The first one will be about the Riga Technical University, which is the oldest university in Latvia and the Center for the Engineering Science and Research. And then it will be followed by the video about the Turība University, and then we're going to move to our last presentation and the main reason why we have gathered here today for the opening of the study center.
During the mid-19th century, economics and politics in Europe underwent rapid changes, and science and education took on ever-increasing importance. Riga took over the most modern technical model for universities in Europe, and the first technical university in the Baltics opened its doors in 1862. Approved by the Tsar of Russia himself, the Riga Polytechnic School, later the Riga Polytechnic Institute, was established, and this became one of the most important events in Latvian history. The mid-19th century was a time in Latvia when the first rail line was opened in Riga, and there were experiments with steel ships and steam engines. Electric lights were demonstrated in the Schwarz concert garden, the first electric tram in the Baltics was installed, new residential buildings and financial and institutional buildings were erected. Riga changed. Students and instructors at the Riga Polytechnic School were people who made the world turn more rapidly. Thanks to scientific and technological achievements, Riga flourished, and it changed from a city of trade and crafts into a developed industrial center. Riga was the place where the Russian Empire manufactured its first automobiles and aviation motors, constructed original airplanes, built Caterpillar chain battle machines, and established major industrial factories in the city. The new companies required well-educated engineers. Graduates of the university became distinguished engineers, chemists, architects, and economists. The knowledge of specialists trained in Latvia was very much appreciated in Estonia, Lithuania, Russia, Germany, Poland, Ukraine, and many other countries. One of the most distinguished persons from that time is Wilhelm Ostwald, the only man from the Baltics to win a Nobel Prize. Working with the then unknown Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius and student Paul Walden, Ostwald became the father of modern physical chemistry. Arrhenius too won the Nobel Prize, and he was elected as an honorary member of the Riga Polytechnic Institute. Paul Walden, for his part, is viewed as the most distinguished scientist of Latvian origin. The Walden inversion and the related stereochemical reaction remain of importance in science today. Friedrich Zander was born in Riga and conducted his research in interplanetary travel. He continued his work in Moscow, where he led a team to produce one of the Soviet Union's first rockets with liquid fuel. Mikhail Dolivo-Dobrovolsky invented the three-phase electric generator in 1889 and then the three-phase transformer. He led a team which produced the first high-voltage power delivery cable in the world. The first professional Latvian architect, too, was educated at the Riga Polytechnic School. Konstantins Pēkšēns designed beautiful buildings for many cities in Latvia. In Riga, he designed more than 250 wood and stone buildings. Pēkšēns worked during the 19th century period of eclecticism and the brilliant style of Riga Art Nouveau as well. Students are never afraid of taking risks, making mistakes, and going to great lengths to achieve their goals. They always surprise the world with their unique inventions. Over the course of 150 years, the Riga Polytechnic School has expanded and laid the foundations for engineering studies in Latvia today. The Riga Technical University is Latvia's only multi-sector technical university, and 15,000 young people are students there. Latvia's best scientists provide their knowledge to future generations, and the research that is done at the university is unique and of global importance. The young scientists at the Riga Technical University have successfully become a part of the international scientific environment. Professor Maris Turks teaches material science and applied chemistry. After studies at the Riga Technical University, Switzerland, and the United States, he returned to Latvia to conduct research at his alma mater and to teach young people. Professor Turks leads teams in several research areas. One is an examination of new anti-cancer medications. We use biologically active substances, and we deal with compounds which, in future, might prove to be good anti-cancer treatments. We've also discovered substances which lower body temperature and prevent infections. Kaspars Kalniņš is a senior researcher at the Faculty of Civil Engineering. He and his colleagues are conducting research that is of importance to ship and automobile manufacturers. They are also designing new generations of wings for airplanes. Kalniņš was the first researcher from Latvia to perform research at the European Space Agency. At the Riga Technical University, I study composite materials as well as their strength and load-bearing capacity. In future, we will design much lighter, stronger, and safer elements of aviation. Doctoral student Guntis Kuļikovskis at the Institute of Mechanics designed a robot which won the silver medal at the world's leading robotic competition in the United States. The sumo robots have also won awards at European robotic competitions. Guntis also designed a robotic fish together with experienced researchers at the Institute of Mechanics, and the Latvian Academy of Sciences listed it as one of the top scientific achievements of the year. We use our knowledge to face the challenge of creating swimming, driving, and even flying robots, which will soon be used by people to dust surfaces at home, and to be a part of robotic greenhouses in the field of agriculture. These are our dreams and our reality. The Institute of Industrial Electronics and Electrical Engineering, for its part, is designing new equipment to improve the quality of electricity and the efficiency of power consumption. We design power transformers to improve the quality of electricity and to increase the efficiency of power consumption. Various transformers of this type will be an automatic component of any and all electricity delivery systems in the future. Such transformers will also become more popular in the household sector. The Riga Technical University is developing all the time. RTU, a city within a city, is one of the dreams that have come true. A center for scientific research and education is being built in the heart of Riga at Ķīpsala. It will always be open to new ideas, equipped with the latest research equipment, ready for challenges, and prepared for the changes that are dictated by the spirit of the era. It will be a center for the most talented technical minds, the best researchers, instructors, and students from all around the world. Students and professors at the Riga Technical University want to live, work, and conduct research in a beautiful, comfortable, and modern environment. I am sure that the people who established our university in 1862 would be proud of our achievements and our future goals.
Riga, a city of opportunities, dynamic and multifaceted, a destination for studies, career growth, and personal development. A city that knows no boundaries, a city always on the move, a city where you can fulfill your dreams. Get the support of professionals to start up your career. Come, study at Turiba University. Turiba is the largest private university in Latvia with over 20 years of experience in higher education. We offer 12 study programs in 4 different faculties in English with over 4,000 students studying business administration, international tourism, law, and public relations. More than 12,000 specialists have successfully graduated our university, and 98% of them have achieved success in the labor market. 1 in 4 of our graduates have their own business. Turiba, a stepping stone to career growth. Join us here at Turiba. We offer state-of-the-art lecture halls and a modern library with the latest books and resources. Authors include not only well-known foreign experts, but also our own Turiba lecturers. Consolidate the knowledge gained during lectures with books written to suit your needs. We have a specially designed courtroom and TV studio to provide hands-on experience. Build your entrepreneurial spirit together with us. Test your abilities with group work. Create your own advertising campaign, draft financial plans, or develop your own business with the support of Turiba's business co-working space. Turiba offers professional higher education. Our innovative approach to education helps you develop your competencies. We put a lot of emphasis on practical lessons that go hand in hand with lectures. Meet and discuss topical issues with leading specialists and industry experts during guest lectures organized specifically for you. Enjoy the fun and excitement with us. Turiba offers a well-equipped sports hall for leisure activities where you can join our basketball and cheerleader teams. Attend aerobics or sports dance lessons or play football and volleyball. Become a leader with us. Join the Turiba Students' Council that represents the interests of our students and organizes various entertainment and personal enhancement events. Feel yourself at home at Turiba. Turiba cares for your well-being. We have invested heavily in developing our campus. Our premises enhance creativity as the beauty and aesthetics of our campus are a source of inspiration. Our employees are always ready to extend a helping hand to make your everyday Turiba experience awesome. Several bicycle parking racks and car parking lots are available for your convenience. Dine at our cozy canteen and cafeteria. Feel connected with our free Wi-Fi internet access available everywhere on our campus. Join us and enjoy the protection of Turitas, also known as Turikat, our talisman. Turiba is available to everyone. We offer scholarships and grants as well as flexible tuition fee payment systems. Students can stay in our comfortable youth hostel, and in case they choose alternative accommodation in the city, they can easily reach us by train thanks to our train station. Young visitors, preschoolers can entertain themselves at the children's playroom. Turn your opportunities into results with Turiba. Our lecturers are highly qualified specialists, offering you knowledge and support all through your education process. We organize international conferences every year to further your excellence. Our cooperation with numerous foreign higher education institutions and enterprises ensure the possibility to study and undergo internship practically all around the world. Our graduates are often invited to join the enterprises where they undergo internships. They build successful careers and regularly recount their achievements to existing Turiba students, inspiring them with their examples. We educate professionals and therefore are a university highly recommended by employers. Turiba has branches in 4 other Latvian cities. Would you like to get further information? Follow us on our homepage, www.turiba.lv, as well as on social media networks. Realize your full potential together with us.
The Indian universities develop the common researches and common ideas. So here you see where we are located, and we decide to open the center in Chennai, in southern India, because as per our experience in the last 2-3 years, we got more students from southern India in Riga Tech University and in other universities in Latvia, and this area we see the most perspective for our aims. Here you see the universities which participate in the center. As you've seen already, Riga Technical University and Turiba University, but also universities like Liepāja University, Latvian University of Agriculture, Bank School of Finance, University of Latvia, and Riseba Business School. So about Riga Technical University, you hear a lot of representatives, and here you then see some short facts about, once again, about Riga Technical University. It's the oldest university in Latvia, and also offer the largest number of study programs in English, 37 programs, and have already around 1,000 international students on the campus from many countries, and I would like to say that India is one of the leading country for the international students in Riga Technical University. Also, they have an attractive tuition fee, which is very comparable with the other prices. And I will add also that it's a really internationally recognized university in European University Association. It's evaluated by Evaluation Committee as a very leading university in the industry. University of Latvia is the second oldest university in Latvia, and offer programs in 13 faculties. Mostly they, for international students, offer programs in medicine. Then we move out of Riga to the sea coast and to the third largest city of Latvia, to Liepāja. Liepāja University offers studies in the fields like computer science, physics, new media art, and as my colleagues already told, also cities which are not the capital city in Latvia also have a quite wide number of international students, and also from India. Latvia University of Agriculture, then we move closer to Riga back. It's in city called Jelgava, and this university mostly focused to agricultural science, and yeah, it's also interested in cooperation between universities in India. Then VA School of Business and Finance is one of the leading business schools in Latvia, and offer dual degree programs with the partners in Switzerland, and also they are very good in the financial education and banking. The Turiba University, you've seen already the presentation. I will add just that Turiba University is the leading tourism education institution in the field of tourism in Scandinavia and Baltic. Turiba is a member of United Nations World Tourism Organization and educational board of this organization, and already awarded third time the TED quality certificate from this organization. So, Study in Latvia Center itself, that, as I already told you, we expected that it will be a hub where the universities, the representatives of universities can meet and create ideas, establish contacts, giving lectures and sharing information about Latvia, about Latvian higher education, about our universities, give an opportunity to establish a good relations between universities, between students, researchers, and hopefully in the future we will open such centers in some other places in India or in other countries. So, plans for this year, then partnerships, cooperation projects like an Erasmus. Dr. Stepans already explain you about the new Erasmus Plus program and the previous Erasmus Mundus programs, and the faculty visits with the guest lectures, introduction of universities and those things. Thank you very much.
I would just like to add that Latvia is the 5th European Union country which opens its official representation center here in India. And there are 28 countries, so we are nearly at the front now, being number 5. And now I just would like to thank you all for being here, for finding time, for listening to us. And now I would like to invite you all for lunch. And as well, please approach us, talk to us during the lunch. We would like to use this event as well as the networking opportunity. Thank you. We could, if anyone would like to ask any questions, then this would be the time before we disappear for lunch. If you have any questions, please approach us.
Exchange program you were mentioning about the exchange program, can you explain how it is, and especially about they stay over there, the fee structure, if they exchange, what will be the fee structure?
There are 2 schemes if we talk mobility or exchange. One is if you are a full-time student at any of the Latvian institutions, that means that you can apply for the student exchange under Erasmus, which means as well that you can receive the Erasmus scholarship, or you can as well go to the countries where we've got the agreements signed, like Singapore or Korea, but that would be self-financed then. You would need to submit the application, then there is a competition, and the best students get selected, and you can spend the semester in one of our partner universities. Across Europe, we've got more than 300 agreements signed with Germany, Scandinavia, Italy, Spain, all the European countries. And then the second scheme is that Erasmus Mundus project, Dr. Tipans already mentioned, which means that you are applying throughout the consortium, and then the assessment is done by the European consortium, not within technical university. It's a completely different scheme.
And also during the session, you are telling that some EU education system and point system. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Dr. Tipans meant that's a European credit transfer system, which means that if you study with us for a semester, or on contrary, if you, as our students, study in any European country, that is the instrument which is in place for us to transfer the courses which you took abroad, or for that student who is with us to transfer back to the home institution, which means that that's comparable, and your professors or faculty, they know exactly what you've done during your studies abroad.
Yeah, if I may add, I need to say it seems to me that Indian credit point system is quite similar to Latvian credit point system, because at Latvian universities, students need to acquire 20 credit points, which is equal to 30 European ECTS. And in fact, we have at Riga Technical University, we have experience to exchange students also with Asian countries, like to access Korea, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Singapore. Basically, we follow the same process as it happens with European students. Initially, student determines with his faculty. We clarify courses, course structure, credit point amount, and then students come. And then after they get a transcript with exact credit point amount and description of courses. Sometimes we perform also tests of their sending university, because sometimes students are not able to complete all of their tests. Then quite often we are authorized by some Asian or European university to perform tests in our office. So we have very flexible in that sense.
So you were telling that you joined in a European Union education system, or some particular word you are in particular.
I mentioned Bologna process. Bologna is one of the oldest universities in Europe. It's in Italy, very center of Italy, north of Rome. And
Which year it was? 1 year also?
Yeah, I just need to mention that there was a declaration of Bologna signed in '93, which was really opening for all European countries.
93.
It was quite unique, in fact, that old European countries decided to perform something together. It was quite crucial thing. I would say just in significance, maybe the next after creation of the European Union, because you can imagine how big inertia is for education systems, and if universities on a highest level, state institutions could agree how to generate something in common and to agree about joint credit point transfer system, about joint diploma supplement, which is quite unique. Because I need to tell you that I talk about joint European labor market. You can imagine that for employer, okay, you got a degree, might be master, but of course, quite essential is to look at diploma supplement. Exactly which subjects you've taught, what your marks have been in specific subjects, what your defense topic was, etc. So there is the same uniform way for diploma supplement for different European universities.
And to add to this, the main thing of Bologna Declaration was that all countries around Europe decided to implement bachelor, master, and doctoral levels. And this bachelor, 3 or 4 years, is depending of type of study programs, but anyway, in engineering, 4 years, and then 1.5 or 2 years master, and then you are going for doctoral degree. Before 24, already we implemented bachelor, master, and doctoral levels in Riga Technical University, but for example, Germany is doing this very slowly. Only maybe last year they are finishing.
Could you please repeat the question?
The first question is the GRE TOEFL scores are required for the students to join in the Riga University?
Students who would like to start their bachelor studies, they should have a score of IELTS at 6 overall band. And for the master students, that would be, if it's a business studies, that would be 6.5. If that's engineering, that would be 6. And for entry, for the bachelor students, you need to have your 10+2. And Riga Technical Universities, we wouldn't accept students with the humanities and with the art background. Same applies if you want to go for the master studies, then you need to have your bachelor degree. It has to be 4 years studies, and then you can apply directly to the masters. And for PhD studies, you need to have your bachelor's, master's has to be minimum of 5-year prior studies, and first, second division only. Same as well for masters, we wouldn't accept anyone with a 3rd division or pass. Any other questions, please?
Through Deepinder Bhava.
Surely, we'll be sending this all to you in a soft copy as well.
Thank you.
I'm Kumar from SAM's Group of Education Institutions. I would like you to throw more light about faculty exchange program, number 1. Number 2 is we are offering marine courses apart from other general engineering courses. Is there any exchange program from Latvian students to come down to India and pursue their studies, as well as exchanging our boys or our students to Latvia?
I think Dr. Tipans could.
I may tell that we are quite interested, in fact, to sign MOUs with Indian universities. We have signed a few, definitely, first of all, with our partner of VIT University in Vellore. But we have discussed about signing different agreements with universities in Tamil Nadu. For example, we have signed MOU with Hindustan University quite recently, and we are quite happy to promote to our students to go to Chennai, which is, as we know, already for some time, it's very advanced scientifically and education-wise. We need to promote definitely, and beyond Erasmus program, I think there might be some kind of bilateral cooperation scheme sending students and academic staff as well.
Hi, good morning. My name is Masood. I'm the Regional Director of IC Abroad. My question here is, a master's degree is 2 years. When the student finishes the master's degree, is there any stay-back policy for the student to be there, and like 1 year stay-back policy where he can work, and during the study he can do part-time?
During the studies, all students, bachelor, master, PhDs, all of them are allowed to do part-time work. That's 20 hours per week, starting from the day they arrive. So there are no limitations there. For the master students, we do not provide stay-back visa, but during the last semester, that's a research work. At that time, students could look for full-time employment, and then they can change their student permit into the work permit. There is no requirement that they have to leave the country, reapply, and then they can only start work.
Yeah, again, if I may add that I was mentioning that Latvia belongs to Schengen zone, which in fact means that student during his last semester can then attend maybe different work interviews, not just in Latvia, but also within Schengen area. We are quite close to Scandinavian countries and Germany, and of course it's much easier for students to show to the company, to speak, to view. The same is for continuation with his doctoral degree. It's much easier to attend different conferences in the Baltic and Scandinavian area or in Germany, to understand, to talk with his potential supervisors, and so there's lots of chances in fact for students.
Well, the placement, it could be as well the internship. If that's part of the study program, then yes, the university would assist. But upon the graduation, now what we do at the university, we organize career days. We invite biggest companies on our campus. They can interact with the students can approach them, they can find exactly what the companies are looking for, whether they've got the right skill. That's the way how we assist our students as well. We have a career department at the university, which of course they are welcome to attend, join, and find what they need. Yes, please.
In future, do you have any plan to start an MBA program in India in the center?
We have a Riga Business School, which belongs to Riga Technical University. They provide executive MBA and NBA, and they've been, maybe Dr. Tipans could add about...
I would say it's one of the best business schools in the Baltics. It was founded in '91 by our old partners, University of Buffalo. And then, yeah, it's in the States. And then when students graduate, they get also certificate from University of Ottawa. So there is very close cooperation, speaking about guest professors. And I would say there are no plans yet to think about like a campus somewhere in India. But I would say what you see now, you know, center was opened just yesterday. And understanding the immense size of India, I think there are plenty of opportunities to speak about cooperation and maybe establishing campuses.
To add this, I can tell that we tried several times also to establish our, from Riga Business School, filialis in Belarus. It's different former Soviet country, and also Ukraine, together with Euro-Asia Fund from USA. They were willing to finance that. For a couple of years, this school worked in Grodno city in Belarus, but then was for political reasons with USA and President of Belarus, Lukashenko. This was stopped for some years, and of course we are open for cooperation and establishment of new activities of Riga Business School abroad too. Thank you.
I would say preference would be if you have some experience already. Yeah. But,
Riga Business School requires 3 years experience for the MBAs.
And I would say significant experience, which means you shouldn't be like, how to say, low-level
Because local students would study together with the international students, and if you look at the local students, they are all from the managerial positions there, and if you haven't got that experience, you wouldn't be able to join in. That's actually for the benefit of the student as well.
Also, it's dependent upon the individual university. Like Turiba University is offering the MBA programs even without experience, but there are different universities have different entry requirements.
If we talk about business and management, I need to say you that we at Riga Technical University, we have our largest faculty, in fact, which is business and management faculty. But it's specializing in general management and also in some special fields like transportation economics, logistics. Latvia is quite advanced in real estate management, where we have our first students from Asia because it's quite new program in English, very advanced. We have, yes, we have our own customs institute because all customs officers in Latvia have been trained in our school. And there is also some significant cooperation with some Asian customs organizations as well. This is a part of World Customs Organization. And Customs College, they have quite unique master's program for customs officers. So you can get master, which for customs is quite rare. So it's all in Riga. So there are different opportunities which should be told, in fact. The name is Riga Technical University, but if you check programs, there's a large component of programs in business and management. And also, if we talk like that, we have also Institute of Applied Linguistics, which prepare technical interpreters. Those who usually get better jobs than students coming from classic universities. They have special courses, basic courses, obviously, to have a glimpse about electronics or mechanical engineering, making their translations more to the sense.
Excuse me, I have a question.
I need to say that there is an international program in logistics supply chain management. I can express you, it's international program. They start with general courses in logistics, but that program is performed in Spain, in Barcelona, for the first semester. Then the second semester is in Riga at the RTU, where you see for IT solutions in logistics and supply chain management. Then third and fourth semester, students can choose either it's Germany, usually it's mechanical part of logistics, or Leuven in Austria, where students can see about storage facilities and that kind of part of supply chain management. So basically, or return back to Barcelona. They are quite specialized in air cargo, air operations, air logistics. It's quite unique program. In fact, it was set up using another Erasmus scheme to set up programs, and I hope that Erasmus Plus, in fact, also might be used for that. But definitely, it's one of the most advanced programs in the Baltics. It's very international, joint, and we are happy, really, that if any Asian students are joining, obviously including Indian students.
As well, I just have a question. Please. I want to know more about the scholarships available for the student scholarships.
At the moment, scholarships are provided throughout our Erasmus Mundus project in Tel Aviv. But we are expecting then, starting from 2015, students from India will be as well eligible for the Latvian government scholarship.
You can find more information about the scholarship on the website, studyinlatvia.in.
Because there is a separate section for scholarships. As soon as you go there, it will display in Tel Aviv, and you can then get all the details from there.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the visa processing time and the duration of the visa for the bachelor's as well as the master's.
All students would get regardless whether it's a bachelor, master or full-time PhD student, you would be getting the temporary resident permit for 1 year. And then once you're in the country, and if you are still studying with us, then we're gonna issue the paperwork so you can extend your resident permit while being in the country. But the initial process, as well, it hasn't been mentioned here before, but on 16th of January, Latvia opened its embassy in New Delhi, so the application for visa will have to be launched there. And initially, you need to plan that it will take about 2 months to 3 months for visa from the start to the finish, to the arrival.
And do they have a personal interview?
They will have a personal interview. Initially, they will submit all the right paperwork. That's under the condition that the university has accepted the student. Then after that, student would need to post documents to the university to which the student's applying. Then we are submitting the packet of documents to the immigration department, and only immigration department has confirmed that the student is eligible for the resident permit. Then there will be a personal interview. That's a very final stage. 1st of July. Any more questions? If you don't have any more questions, then I would like as well to our very good partner from the Vellore Institute of Technology, I would say Professor Vivek, because I find it very difficult to pronounce your 1st of July. Any more questions? If you don't have any more questions, then I would like as well to our very good partner from the Vellore Institute of Technology, I would say Professor Vivek, because I find it very difficult to pronounce your family name. I hope you will forgive me just to say a couple of words. Thank you, Professor.
Good afternoon to all of you. Delegates from Riga Technical University. I had not planned to talk here. In fact, I came very late. So it's indeed my pleasure and privilege to be here and be able to address the gathering. I think they have already talked about the Erasmus Mundus Fellowship. When you talk of higher studies, people think of only United States, or UK or Australia. So that's because of the languages in most of the European countries are different, and that those languages are not familiar. But after the European Union was formed, and there was an attempt to universalize the educational systems in Europe. In fact, every country had different educational systems, and Professor just now mentioned Germany is just now completed the process. So it's very difficult, even now it's very difficult to understand. Then every time we want to understand the education system of a country, we go to Wikipedia and find out how it works out and how is it equivalent here. So the Erasmus scheme was started mainly to have a common framework within Europe first. And then in the last 5-6 years, they extended it to IITs in the form of research projects, and then exchange of research students from India to Europe. And last couple of years, they have extended into Erasmus Mundus Action 2. So Erasmus Mundus means international. So Erasmus Mundus is an internationalized Erasmus program in which there are fellowship offered for different regions of the world towards Europe. Sometimes it's bilateral, sometimes it is unilateral. So one of the program is Heritage, and the other one is Interview. These are the two Erasmus Mundus program. Those who don't know the website, you can Google for it, so you'll be able to find out. We are proud that VIT is part of these two programs, Heritage and Interview. Both are coordinated by the Central School of Nantes in France. And there are 10 Indian partners and 10 European partners in Heritage. I believe Riga Technical University was not a partner in Heritage. That was an India-Europe partnership program. And now we have kicked off the Asia-Europe partnership program called Interview. So applications are open now. So interview-ema2.eu is the website. So the speciality of these Erasmus Mundus programs is that it offers fellowships at all levels. both for exchange programs of duration of 1 month for faculty and 5 months to 6 months for a semester abroad program, or for full degree program. So there are 3 groups, target group 1, target group 2 and target group 3, TG1 and TG2 and TG3. And target group 1 will be for exchange and higher studies within the partner universities. Target group 2 is for non-partner universities. That means in order to avail the fellowship, a candidate need not belong to a partner university. Target group 3, TG3, is for the weaker sections and refugees. So in India, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes candidates, OBC candidates, as well as refugees may be able to apply under this program. Among the fellowship programs, probably Erasmus Mundus is the only program that covers all the criteria. Otherwise, very often you will restrict the fellowships to the partner universities or to partner universities and a few fellowships for others. But this is the only program that also caters to the weaker sections also. So also the selection procedure is relatively flexible. Linguistic requirements are also relatively flexible when you go under the Erasmus Mundus program, because there is a selection committee in which all partners are representative from all partner universities will be part of. So this will be a great opportunity to send some of our candidates there. And there is also under interview there is a possibility for European candidates to visit Asian universities. That way we will be able to understand better. So I will also be happy to announce here, as already announced, VIT has signed a memorandum of understanding with Riga Technical University. So Professor Tippens was kind enough to visit here. Ms. Purlera initiated this activity just 2 weeks ago, and we were lucky enough to complete the formalities. So the modalities we are yet to work out. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And
Thank
we
you,
are
Professor.
really proud to be part of interview as well as Riga Technical University at bilateral level. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I'd just like to add that the application deadline for interview is 27th of February for those who are considering to apply. I believe we don't have any more questions. Then I would like you to invite to the lunch, which is served just here next door. And please, as I said before, approach us and use this opportunity to network with us. Thank you.